This review is made possible by Napleton Mazda of Naperville. Napleton Mazda of Naperville offers a wide selection of Mazda products that will fit everyone's lifestyle. Start your new car search off right and visit them online at napervillemazda.com.
Alright, what's up guys? My name is Zach and today I am driving a 2007 Mazda 6. Up front is a 3.0 liter V6 and down below is a 6-speed automatic transmission. Now I am super excited to be driving this here Mazda 6 for a bunch of reasons. First of all, if you guys are fans of the channel, you guys know I'm a huge Mazda fan. I've owned 5 Mazdas myself, and I have to say it's my favorite brand. So driving another Mazda is always a good day. But the second reason is the fact that I've driven the second and third generation Mazda 6, but this is the first generation of the Mazda 6. And so after today, I will have completed all 3 generations. But before we get on to anything else, I have a website, zackpradel.com, where you can buy stickers like this retro sticker pack or big friggin' bottle sticker, both with free shipping. You could also submit your own vehicle to be reviewed by me through a quick and easy submission form. And you could read my behind the scenes blog to see what I'm filming before it comes out on the channel. But let's get back to that 3-liter V6 under the hood. Well, it makes 212 horsepower, and it was the upgraded version of the Mazda 6. You could get a 4-cylinder, or you could get this 3-liter V6. Now, this is a Duratec engine. What does that mean? Well, it was actually a Ford engine. It was also used in the Ford Fusion or the Mercury Milan, of which I do have footage of. This is a Mercury Milan with the same engine. And this was a North American market only engine because this car was actually built up in Michigan at the Flat Rock Assembly Plant from Ford. This shared a production line with the Ford Fusion and Mercury Milan. So it's actually an American-made Mazda. If you're unaware, Ford had a controlling share in Mazda ever since the early 70s, actually 1973, and only recently sold off the last of their shares in 2015. That's why you see a big quality increase after 2015. And so, for all intended purposes, this car is a Ford product. Like I said, paired to it, 6-speed automatic transmission. It's shifting fine. You have to remember this car is 15 years old. Any automatic transmission, especially up at 166,000 miles, is not going to be the happiest thing in the world. However, it's still shifting and doing the job, which is all I can ask. Last but not least, of course, the Mazda 6 is front-wheel drive. However, there was a special edition called the Mazda Speed 6 that came with a 2.3-liter turbocharged inline-4, a manual transmission, and all-wheel drive. If anyone has a Mazda Speed 6 that they would let me review, please let me know. Or if you have a Mazda 6 wagon, I would love to review that as well. If you have either of those, please contact me with the information up on the screen. But with the drivetrain out of the way, let's talk about the interior. Well, in front of me, I have 4 gauges. On the left is my coolant temperature, then I have my tachometer, and on the right, I have my speedometer and my fuel. The silver outlines of the gauge cluster sort of remind me of the NA and NB Miata from the late 90s. Kind of fun there. On the steering wheel, on the left I have my volume, skip track mode, and mute button, and on the right I have my cruise control settings. The overall steering wheel I think looks still decently presentable 15 years later. Of course it is a little bit dated, very mid-2000s, but hey, this is a mid-2000s car, so that fits right in. Off to the left I have my gauge dimmer switch, traction control off, and a nice little cubby as well as a vent up top. And on the door I have my lock and unlock, power mirrors, power windows, and window locks. Moving into the center, I actually get this big storage compartment up above anything else. This is very interesting and something we don't really see in cars much of anymore, but very handy for a automatic tollway sensor or your sunglasses if you don't want to use a sunglasses holder for some reason, or just any other knickknacks and toys that you might have in your car. Down below that, we get the very infamous mid-2000s Mazda orange amber readout. This is for my clock and air conditioning controls, and it'll tell me my radio station, as well as it'll say hello and goodbye when you turn the car on and off. Then we get 3 symmetrical vents for the climate controls and a hazard switch, and then the factory radio. Nothing really to write home about here. I do get a CD player, which is fairly nice, but other than that, no screen at all. This is pre the screen era, and that's fine. Down below that, we do have the climate controls. Off to the left, I can control the temperature, then fan speed in the center, and where to send it off to the right. I get an extra little cubby with a 12-volt outlet and the shifter itself. The shifter does feel a little flimsy. However, like I said, this is the Ford era of Mazda. Ford didn't allow Mazda to use as much money as Mazda was bringing in, and so that's evident here in the shifter. Then we do have cup holders, so we will do a big friggin' bottle test here in the Mazda 6 from 2007, and I really wanted it to pass. The bottle starts to go in, but I don't think it has enough depth in order for the big friggin' bottle to fit without falling over on a hard turn. The cup holders are pretty deep, but the bottle is too big to go that deep, unfortunately, so the 2007 Mazda 6 fails the big friggin' bottle test. Then we get our heated seat buttons, which are pretty well hidden up against the center console. But then we have the center console itself, 12-volt outlet in there, but nothing else specific. The seats are decently comfortable. They're nondescript. They don't have any like cool styling on them. They look like they could be plucked out of any car in this era, but they are decently comfortable. Like I said, they're heated and they are power, which is very, very nice, but they are not memory. Mazda is very reluctant to give you memory seats in their cars. This came with the V6, it's a little bit higher trim, but still no memory seats. But speaking of seats, we do have back seats, so let's go do a back seat review. All right, so we're in the back of the 2007 Mazda 6, and something you'll note, the headliner is sagging a little bit. This is a used vehicle. However, with the headliner still in place, my head is still hitting the ceiling a little bit. My knees don't have all the room in the world. However, if I spread them a little bit, it isn't too bad. I do get a center console, 2 cup holders back there. Don't get anything on the back of the front center console or anything like that. Of course, I have power windows, but that's about it. Nothing too crazy. Let's go take a quick look at the trunk and cargo space, and then we'll talk about the looks. All right, so we're on the back of the Mazda 6 from 2007. Little latch there. And something I never realized until literally this second, this is a hatchback. Did anyone else know that? I had no idea. Wow, you learn something new every day. Even after 800 and some reviews, I never knew that these were hatches. That's so strange. Anyway, getting past my excitement, tons of space back here. I mean, you could sleep back here. That second row goes down. You have tons and tons and tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of room back here. Really, really fantastic. I don't get a 12-volt outlet, which I like in modern cars. However, this car is 15 years old. Wasn't as common back then, so I can't fault it for that. But I really can't get over the fact that these are hatchbacks. I don't know why I never knew that. You learn something new every day. Now we gotta talk about the looks, and this is definitely macaroni styling for me. I coined that phrase a couple of videos ago, where I don't think that they're outright pretty, but I grew up in the 2000s, and so I grew up around these cars. We had a neighbor that had a burnt orange Mazda 6, and I was really close friends with his son, and he would drive us to basketball practice, soccer practice, football practice, baseball practice, in that burnt orange Mazda 6. That was probably one of the first, if not the first Mazda I ever was in at a very, very young age, was a Mazda 6. I believe it was a 2006 in that sweet burnt orange. And so I like the styling of this car purely off of nostalgia's sake. I don't think it's outwardly pretty. However, like a good bowl of macaroni and cheese, it warms my heart. But now let's get on to my final thoughts. What do I think driving this Mazda 6? Well, I'm a little conflicted. First of all, I like the proportions of it. I like how light and thin it feels. It feels more sporty than a lot of other cars in this segment. Things don't feel as thick or as dense, which could be looked at as a lack of quality, and in some respects it is. Like I said, the shifter feels flimsy. The gauges, while they remind me of a Miata, just kind of look like stick-on AutoZone parts. However, now I get the opportunity to look back in retrospect because the Mazda 6 is no longer offered in North America. So we have 3 generations to look back on. And honestly, I can say that the first generation was really the only generation to get the spotlight with the Mazda Speed 6. If it weren't for the Mazda Speed 6, I don't know how many people would remember these cars. And as time went on, they're still good cars, but they just never got that spotlight treatment like the Mazda 3 has. The Mazda 3 is a little Madonna compared to this car. I don't know if the later generations ever got their time in the sun, and this car did, but only in its performance orientation. And so I think that this is a really good car. I really, really enjoy this car. The 3-liter V6, definitely the option to go with if you're between the naturally aspirated 4-cylinder or this. Definitely go with the V6. The 212 horsepower feels very nice. I do like the styling of it, like I said. I like how thin and light it feels. It doesn't feel like I'm trying to pilot a cave, which some cars do feel like with tiny windows. This is still the era of big side windows, something Mazda has strayed away from. I don't know. I really like this car, and I think for nothing else, my nostalgia is kicking in hardcore. Huge thank you to Mazda of Naperville for letting me take out their Mazda 6. I'm so glad I was able to check this off my list. Mazda of Naperville is fantastic. They have the best customer service of any Mazda dealer I've ever been to, any car dealer I've ever been to. I cannot sing enough praise for Mazda of Naperville. Their information is up on the screen as well as linked in the description below. They have all the new stuff. They just renovated their showroom this year. It's just now finished. So come check out their brand new showroom. You won't regret it. They are absolutely awesome, and I can't say enough good things, truly. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, and subscribe if you really liked it. Take care, guys.